Thank you, Vinny. Terry. Morning. I'm Steve Potts, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living-Tacoma, those in the room and those online. Our musicians today are Terry O'Hara on the piano and Benny Yangco on the clarinet. Our special guest musician is Peter Kirkland. Sorry, Peter. And our audio-visual team is Erik, Perrohe, and Ronald Edens. Our practitioners today are Pam Migliozzi on the platform. Mona Williams is holding high watch in the back of the room. And our message today is Reverend Karen is here to see us. If you're here for the first time, we're glad you've chosen to visit us and like to acknowledge your being here. We're friendly, handshaking, we hug too. Meet and greet community, yet recognize and respect that not everyone is so gregarious. If you're comfortable raising your hand so we may acknowledge you, please do so now. Anybody? Okay. Center for Spiritual Living is peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. At the core of our belief is the existence of a single source, which we call God or Spirit. And this Spirit inspires, guides, and supports and nurtures our individual awakening and our day-to-day reality. This loving consciousness desires only the highest and greatest good for creation. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and being a beneficial presence on the planet. Okay?
Good morning, everyone. It is just wonderful to be here this morning and to be with all of you. Yesterday, we had the pleasure of being led by Reverend Karen in a wonderful workshop on abundance. So this resonated with me, and this morning I would like to begin our meditation on abundance, followed by an opening prayer. So I invite you to just become relaxed. Become centered. Allow your body and your mind to just completely relax and be at ease. Just letting go of everything that it took to get here this morning, for we are here right now in this beautiful space, this beautiful sanctuary. I invite you to place your feet firmly on Mother Earth with the absolute knowing that all is well. We are present in these beautiful, peaceful, loving surroundings. And we are called here today by divine appointment. I invite you to allow these words to transcend into your mind, into your heart, knowing absolutely that God's abundance is everywhere. Abundance is not merely money or wealth. It is everything. For this morning, we have an abundance of rain. And this rain is going to allow flowers to grow, the trees to bloom, everything to be green and beautiful this spring and summer. The forest will be alive because of the gift of this beautiful rain. I invite you to consider the beloveds in your life, family, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, neighbors, each of which is a gift of abundance. And for the next few moments, just allow your heart to feel this abundance, to go deep in your soul, affirming God's bounty, and say these words gently to yourself. I am surrounded by abundance in every aspect of my life. I am surrounded by abundance in every aspect of my life. And now, being in this place of abundance, I absolutely know that God is right here, right now. I am one with God, and I relish in God's abundance. I am a manifestation of the Spirit, which works through me as me. And as I know this to be true for myself, I know this to be true for each person that is here today in person, as well as those who are online. And beyond this sanctuary, I know that each person is a manifestation of God, for there is one golden thread that connects all of humanity. Here in Tacoma, here in our beautiful state of Washington, throughout this country and around the world, the one golden thread of divine spirit. And I absolutely know that this service today touches each person. I know that the music that is played, the songs that are sung, absolutely just rings that beautiful chord with each of us. And I know, too, that Reverend Karen's words today, absolutely, we walk away, we take that golden nugget with us. We say, thank you, God. Thank you for these words. Thank you for this music. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the Center of Spiritual Living of Tacoma. Thank you for my spiritual home. And so let us just be one with God. Let us embrace the love and the joy and the peace that is in this sanctuary. And I therefore release this prayer into the law of mind, absolutely knowing that it is true. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, and I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause Lord, I don't know what's up there beyond in the sky. It's been a long time coming, and I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will. When I go to my brother, I'll say, brother, help me please. Yeah. But oh, it winds up knocking me on my knees. There have been times that I thought I wouldn't last too long, but Lord, I know I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, and I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
How beautiful. Thank you, Peter. Change is going to come. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Our reading today is on abundance, and this is from the 60 Meditations for a Mindful Life by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. I now acknowledge God, the divine spirit, as a living presence in everything and in everyone. I bless everyone I meet. I praise everything I do. I acknowledge God's abundance, the outpouring of the Spirit, the manifestation of life everywhere. I bless my family. I praise my friends. I rejoice in the activities of my life. I know that love does not condemn and life does not destroy. I sincerely desire that every thought of my mind and every impulse of my whole being will be constructive and life-giving and will radiate that which I now believe and accept to be at the center of my being, the light that lights everyone's pathway. I bless the small things in my life, that they may multiply and become great. I bless everything that seems little, that it will increase. I bless that which is good, and I desire that good alone will reach out from me to meet the need in everyone, in love, in joy, and with thanksgiving. Thank you. And may you have a very abundant day. Thank you.
into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. No need to make a plan. Your heart will be your compass. Just lift your head in faith, and soon you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's so wonderful to see all of your smiling faces here today. And lots of new faces, too. I'm so excited. So, we've been pretty busy around here. Before I start my talk, we've decided to have me let you guys know what we've all been doing in the background. So we're deciding to call it a minister's moment. And I have to share with you that we started out with Minister's Minute, and I said, there's no way I can keep it to a minute. So it's a minister's moment. And basically, since I've been here at the beginning of November, we have completely and totally started a grand change. What Peter sung in one of the songs, a change is coming, and it's already here. So as with all change, sometimes change is not that comfortable, but it's all good. You know, we teach around here, God is all good all the time and everywhere present, so this is all good. So here's some of the things we've been doing. We set up a whole bunch of teams. We have a marketing team now. And because of that marketing team, we're getting the word out about what's going on around here and what we're doing around here. And so, I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing all kinds of new faces here, and I'm loving it. We've got Justin and Steve who are really on the social media side of it. We've got the Facebook page and the Instagram page. We have Jessica, who, she's not here this morning. If she hasn't cornered you yet as a new person and asked you what's going on and why you're here and what you want to see happen here, she will. We've got other yummy things in store for marketing. We also have an education team. And Doug's not here this morning either. Do you know if everybody, all the regulars were here today, we'd have damn near a full house? Yeah. So we have an education team going. Bev back there is starting at the end of this month on the 30th. She starts with a history class called From Whence We Came. If you don't know about the history of New Thought and our centers and our place in the New Thought overall scheme of things, oh my goodness, that's a rich, rich class. It's beautiful. I'm starting a foundations class on the 25th. It's on Wednesday night. Now, if you're new here, I highly encourage you to take that foundations class because it's the foundation of everything that we teach here. It will set you on a new course in your life. I guarantee it. I'm going to issue you a written guarantee if you want it. I guarantee it. It will set you on a new course for your life if you sign up for that class. We also have scholarships. Well, we haven't got scholarships set up yet, but we do have in-kind trades available for these class fees. So if you want to take a class and you're not feeling the abundance just yet, let us know. We've got some volunteer work you can do around here. Yep. What else is going on? We got, yes, policies and procedures. How could I forget policies and procedures? That's so if someone walks through the door and they want to volunteer, we don't know what to have them do. They can look and go, oh, I could do that. And this manual will tell you precisely how to do it. So lots of policies and procedures. We have lots of other things going on. But just so you know, we are busy in the background doing all this wonderful stuff. And I think the most important thing I want to share with you today is that church doesn't happen in a vacuum. It takes a village. And you guys have a great village here. You are incredible. I feel so supported, even though my practitioners like to push me around on Sunday mornings. They're like, you gotta go here, you gotta go there. And I'm just teasing you, you know that. I feel so supported. Anything we want to do, they're like, there, yes, how can I help? Everybody's showing up in the ways that they're bringing their talents and their skills and their treasures and their time to make this church new and beautiful and growing and thriving. And I'm so excited to see it. So as your interim minister, I'm very grateful to be a part of this. Very, very grateful. And I'll close with this. In 2 weeks, we're going to have our annual community meeting. I encourage you all to show up there because then you'll get lots more details about what we've been doing. Lots more details. So that's my minister's moment. And I have no idea how many minutes I took up, but I'm going to change hats and put my glasses on here and talk about this talk that I want to present to you today. So you guys may not know that we follow what's called a global vision, a global theme. And centers for spiritual living throughout the world are free to adopt this global theme as the source from which they get their messages for their Sunday talks and a lot of other things too. We follow the global themes here, and the global themes were created by a process known as visioning. A lot of ministers get together and they visioned for what they wanted to see happen and come to fruition in the coming year. And they emerged from that visioning process with a global theme this year of live out loud. And so I wanted to talk about this living out loud thing because it has to do with this week's topic of the internal song. You know, we all have that internal song. That song, you know, those voices, I call them the committee. You know, the inner voices, we all have that stuff. Now, sometimes the committee is really friendly and supportive and loving and kind, and sometimes not so much. So we all have that internal song. We can use these teachings here to change our internal song so that it becomes more loving and more supportive. So I got to look at that living out loud thing because I really happen to love that phrase, live out loud. Live out loud. It just sounds good saying it, feels good saying it. So I Googled the phrase live out loud, and here's what I got. Living out loud means living with sass, spice, and flair. Now, can you just imagine what your life would look like if you lived with sass, spice, and flair? I love that. So then I got to exploring each one of those three words. Now, the first thing I discovered, I really need a stool, guys. I really need a stool. I'm going to come over here. The first thing I discovered is that sass doesn't have a very good reputation. Yeah. Sass is like, you ever hear your parental unit when you were a kid say, "Don't you sass me, young lady." That's sass. But there's another word for sass. Sass also means fresh vegetables. Who knew? Who knew? So I went into that grand land of metaphor, and I thought, okay, what if we looked at sass as fresh? What if we took that word fresh and greeted every single day with fresh eyes and fresh hearts and fresh faith, fresh enthusiasm and fresh joy? What if we did that? Yeah. So we start our day out. Each day is fresh. Each day is new. Each day is like a freshly harvested vegetable. And I thought, well, that's a pretty cool way to be. Just imagine that. Imagine that as your first internal song of the day. Now, what do you think that committee is going to do, the one that doesn't like to be so supportive? If you wake up in the morning with fresh eyes, that community might say, well, there's something new going on around here. We're going to push back even harder. If you're anything like me. But eventually, it'll start going along with the flow in there. You guys might not have as many voices in your head as I do. I got a lot in there. I might be talking out of turn here. So we get to wake up with fresh eyes, a fresh view of our day, a fresh attitude, freshness. So let's move on to spice and see what's up there with spice. So spice is defined as something that gives us zest. That sounds promising, right? Promising, zest. Zest is defined as keen relish, hearty enjoyment, and gusto. Yeah, I like that too. Gusto, hearty enjoyment, keen relish. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you wake up with fresh eyes every day and a fresh attitude every day, and you set an intention to move out into the world with hearty enjoyment and gusto, you find, well, at least I do, I find all sorts of things to enjoy. This morning, I might be a little weird, but I'm really enjoying the shoes this morning. You guys are wearing the awesomest shoes. Check out Justin's shoes back there. The shoes this morning. I'm so enjoying the shoes. I'm enjoying Erik's shirt, the bright colors. I'm enjoying the music. So if you wake up with fresh eyes and a fresh attitude every day and you set an intention to go out and experience hearty enjoyment and gusto, guess what? You get to experience that. You get to experience that. Now, let's check out what flare means. So flare means to shine or glow, and it's also a gradual spreading outward. Have you ever looked at a ship's bow, and it kind of flares out a little bit till it gets to the whole width of the ship, but it starts really narrow? So what if we looked at our lives like that? And we might be starting here, but we set an intention to flare out gradually. We don't have to do it overnight, but just flare out gradually with a fresh start each morning, with an intention to experience life with hearty enjoyment and gusto. And we don't have to do it all at once, we just do it a little at a time. You know, some of you attended the Abundance Workshop yesterday, and you set some intentions to show up and be and feel differently in the world as a result of it. And that's a process that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a little bit at a time. So we show up in life, and we live our life out loud with spice and sass and flair, and we have some fun with that. And I'm assuming that you guys would actually want to do that. You know, I'm assuming you really want to do that. So we set the intention to live this way. This could be a great New Year's intention, by the way. Forget the resolutions. Those things never work. But intentions, yeah, they work. And if we set an intention to live life with sass, spice, and flair, to wake up every day with fresh attitude, and to set out with an intention to enjoy our day with hearty enjoyment and gusto, and to turn into the person that we want to be, to show up, being and doing what is ours to do gradually. When we set that intention, things happen to allow us to do that. And then that internal song begins to change. But we do have to do some work when we set these intentions. We can't just willy-nilly say, I'm going to do this, and then not, you know, we're in a cooperative, co-creative process with God here. We're in a partnership here. So what's this inner work that I'm speaking of? They're called spiritual practices. Spiritual practices. Spiritual practices. And lately in my work here, I've been moved to stress spiritual practices, because in this teaching, what we teach here, it all begins within. We work from the inside out. We always begin within. We always begin with spiritual practices. Once we begin there, then we can move out into the world on much firmer ground and singing a better internal song. More connected, more at peace, living life with sass and spice and flair. Ernest Holmes talks about this. He says, one of the great difficulties in the new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. He wrote that back in, what did he write? 1937, I think he wrote the textbook. Even then, he was seeing that we weren't doing enough spiritual practice around here. So here's my experience with this. We can't know that this stuff works until we actually do it. We can step out in faith for a little bit, but until we actually experience, you know, that faith is like a teeny little mustard seed. It's not going to grow into anything until we actually step out and do this work. Here's my personal experience with spiritual practice. This stuff works. And it works quickly and it works powerfully if we allow it. I have been able to do things and achieve things in my life that most people were telling me were impossible they'd say, "You can't do that." And I'd say, "Watch me." They'd say, "You can't do that." And I found this little pin. It's a little pin about quarter, half an inch tall. One of those little pins you stick in your lapel. It's a can. And it says, "I can" on it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. People tell me, "You can't do that." That's like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Don't tell me I can't do something. How do I accomplish what other people say is impossible? Spiritual practices. I'm telling you guys, it works. If you just try it. And pretty soon, if you just try it, you'll find yourself absolutely amazed at what you can be in your life and what you can do in your life. And notice I said be first and then do second. This stuff really works. So I began doing spiritual practices 36 years ago. And when they first told me I had to do this stuff every day, I'm like, I don't have time for that. Who has time for that? Who has time to sit and meditate for 20 minutes a day? Who has time to sit in silence and go within and check out what's happening with your internal song? Who has time to journal? Who has time to study good, yummy, spiritual stuff every day? Who has time to pick up a daily meditation book and read the entry for that day and then sit there and contemplate it for a little while? If you've never done any of these things on a regular basis before, it might seem like, oh, it will be of no earthly value to anyone at all if I spend all my time doing that. So, again, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't take that long. And it makes the days so much better. It makes it possible to show up doing what other people say we can't do. Last night, a lady, so we had dinner with the minister last night, and I forget which lady it was, and I don't think she's here today, but she came up to me and she said, "My, you must be really tired." And I said, "No, I wasn't. I really wasn't tired at all." And she said, "How can that be?" Because I had showed up here yesterday morning at 9 o'clock, and then I did the workshop. And then I went downstairs to the kitchen and I started cooking. And I cooked from noon till 5. And then we sat down and had dinner. And by the time she got to me telling me I must be tired, it was 7 o'clock. I said, "No, I'm not tired at all." And she said, "How do you do that?" And I said, "Spiritual practices." Spiritual practices. I could tell. She didn't believe me. She didn't believe me that I wasn't tired. And she didn't believe me that I place all the good, yummy stuff that I get in my life, including being able to do a day like yesterday and end up not being tired at the end of the day. But it's true. That's how it works. I have people come to me so much and they say, "You're so busy, you do so much, don't you ever rest?" And I'm like, spiritual practices, dude. Really. Spiritual practices, that's what allows us to function well in life and do all the wonderful, yummy things that we get to do in life. So I mentioned a few spiritual practices a few minutes ago. But I want to say that if you want to live your life with sass, if you want to wake up with fresh eyes and a fresh attitude every single day, that's treatment, guys. That's what we call treatment around here. Now, if you're new, treatment is what we use as our very own wonderful, unique, and powerful form of affirmative prayer. And it is, back in the day, when God was a child around here, Treatment and meditation were our two spiritual practices. Those were the only ones we had. Treatment is still here today. Basically, treatment is affirmative prayer. And if you take that foundations class, you'll take a deep dive into treatment. But treatment is a process where we recognize that God is in whatever form is comfortable for us. We connect with that God in whatever way is comfortable for us. Then we make our statement of truth. We affirm it in the present tense as it's already happening. And we put feeling behind it because thought plus feeling equals power. And then we release that with gratitude. And we anchor. And that's when you hear "and so it is" at the end of every prayer we do around here. So if you want to start your life living with fresh eyes and affirmation and affirmative feelings and new thoughts and new attitude, treatment is a really good one to do that. Because if you wake up grumpy, like I used to do every single day, that's the whole reason why I started doing spiritual practices, you guys. I woke up grumpy every single day. Now I don't wake up grumpy anymore. You know what my first thought is when I wake up every morning? I go to bed purposely. Now I live out in the middle of the country, so I can get away with this. I don't close my curtains. I don't close my blinds. I keep them open all night long. So if I wake up in the middle of the night, guess what happens? I look out the window first thing. Now, because I live in rural Nevada, no light pollution. I can see the Milky Way with the naked eye. And so if I wake up in the middle of the night and it's a clear night out and I look outside, guess what? That Milky Way is right there. I wake up in the morning and I see what's going on outside. It doesn't matter if it's raining or snowing. And believe me, lately it's all been snow. Oh my goodness. The whole world is falling apart where I live because we're deluged right now. But snow, rain, clear weather, blue sky, doesn't matter what it is. It's beautiful outside. It's beautiful outside. I rarely wake up grumpy anymore. And when I do, I know how to change that grump. I know how to change it, and I use treatment. So try treatment for sass. I believe, now it might be different for you, but here's how it works for me. Spice, I think, calls for mindfulness. Because if we're setting an intention to heartily enjoy life with gusto, that means we have to live in the moment. That's mindfulness. So while I'm sitting in here and I'm looking around at how bright and shiny all of you look, and I'm looking at the colors you're wearing, and I'm noticing all the cool shoes that everybody's wearing, I am right here, right now, totally in the moment. I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday. I'm not worried about what's happening or going to happen tomorrow. I'm right here, right now. And I don't know about you guys, but when I'm right here, right now, there's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. I'm right here, right now. And I do that. I'm here now. And I'm here now. And I'm here now. It's a wonderful way to live. And then flare. So flare, that process I talked about, the starting here and moving out. For me, that's all about self-inquiry. In Centers for Spiritual Living, in the Spiritual Principles and Practices class that we have, they call it self-awareness, personal self-awareness. I call it self-inquiry. There's a whole bunch of names for it, and there's a whole bunch of ways and processes you can utilize to get there to where you are aware of what's actually going on inside of you. You really know what that internal song is. It's self-inquiry. I do treatment, self-inquiry, and spiritual study every single day, without exception. I purposely wake up early if I've got to be somewhere in the morning. I purposely set my alarm and wake up early to allow myself time for that. Now, if I don't have to be anywhere in the morning, I will happily take 2 or 3 hours just in spiritual practice and relish every moment of it. And that happens quite often for me. Not every day, but often enough. On those days, I get to write. And I write my talks, and I write blogs, and I write a podcast, and I write a Facebook entry. You know, I write. That's what I do, I write. I'm working on a daily meditation book. I might write an entry for the book. It's taken me like 4 years to do that book so far. Like, I'll get it done one of these days. I write. I don't have time to do that every day. Now lately, I've had to do a bit of a hard reset on my internal song because it was singing some songs I wasn't real happy with. So I've added meditation back into my routine, only I don't do that in the morning. I do that in the afternoon. I sit there and meditate for 20 minutes in the afternoon. I've also added personal journaling into that hard reset process because I needed it. I needed to get out some of that icky internal song that was going on inside of me in order to make room for the new. So you can change up your spiritual practices as needed. So, if you guys want to live life differently, if you feel like you might be a little stuck, or like life might be a little blah, or like there might be something missing, or if you've got a crisis and you don't know how to deal with it, or you're in the midst of change and it's not comfortable and it's chaotic, which is where this community is, spiritual practices. We do those spiritual practices, and if we do that, we get to live life out loud. We get to live life with spice and sass and flair. So, I'd like to do a treatment for that. So as we settle in, and I use my breath to settle in, it's a signal for me, for mind, body, and spirit, that I am moving inward into that absolutely beautiful, glorious place of knowingness, recognizing that God is indeed everywhere present, and recognizing that God is indeed living and moving and flowing in and as and through me, and recognizing that my words are God's words. And so I speak now for myself and for anyone else who wants to adopt these words and know them for themselves, because I know them as well. That I am now living life with beautiful, absolutely fresh, glorious new eyes every single day. Waking up with excitement and enthusiasm for the day. Waking up with freshness. And setting my intention to thoroughly, with gusto, enjoy my day as I move through the day. And setting my intention to take nice, maybe small but consistent baby steps every single day, reaching ever higher into that place of greater connectedness with all that is, that absolutely glorious place of co-creation and complete partnership with Spirit. Knowing that in this partnership, in this place of co-creation, all things are possible. And so I am affirming these possibilities right here and right now for this community as well. And it is with great gratitude that I release these words into that creative medium, that thing we call law, that always says yes to my words, knowing it is done. And so I anchor. And so it is. Thank you, everybody.
Lean on love and walk a little stronger. Lean on love and you will find a way. Let that love be the strength that keeps you going. Lean on love and lean on me. Rest on love when dark of night is falling. Rest on love when you can't find a way. Love will shine on the rocky road you're traveling. Rest on love, rest on me. Count on love wherever else has failed you. Count on love and do it faithfully. Love reveals all the searching and the longing. Rest on love and rest on me. Call on love whenever else has failed you. Count on love and let it show the way. Love will let you take on all directions. Rest on love, rest on me. Share some love to all the hearts you're meeting. Share some love and do it faithfully. And full circle, it comes right back to heal you. Rest on love, rest indeed. Lean on love and walk a little stronger. Rest on love, and love will find a way. Let that love be the strength that keeps you going. Rest on love, and rest on me. Will you just rest on love?
That's good. Yeah. I'd like to ask the ushers to come forward, please. There we go. And please join me with the saying of our offertory blessing together. It's in our announcement. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is.
What a morning and what a weekend. Workshop, dinner, community, rest in love, Emmanuel, change is coming, zest, freshness, excitement. We are so blessed. So let us just all come together one more time. Let us just rest in the knowing that, oh, God is just right here, just embracing this community with love and joy. We are expanding, we are deepening, for we are one with God. Our community is being held and loved and guided with a wonderful minister who is leading us, with a team of volunteers that are just saying, yes, yes, God, yes. Whatever it takes, we are here to love and to support and service and enjoy. And I am just so grateful to be a part of this community. So blessed. And so as we begin a new week, let us go forth. Let us just embrace the words of someone that I believe each of us admire so deeply, the words of John Lewis. Let us go forward and do good work. So I release this prayer into the law of mind, knowing that all is good, all is well. Thank you, God, and let us together say, and so it is.
Joke before. We're doing a lot of stuff here. When somebody, as you saw in the earlier parts, this announcements are getting the size of the Science of Mind book. So if we've got them here, there we go. Okay, announcements. January 8th announcements. Tacoma CSL practitioners, spiritual coaches are ready and willing to help you navigate solutions to change and transitions with affirmative prayer. They have received up to 4 years training before becoming licensed. And their primary role is to pray with us, individually and collectively. Join them in the prayer room back in the back after for a brief prayer circle. You can also contact a practitioner individually. You'll find their information on the table in the back. 2, we have a new discussion group starting January 20th at 5 p.m. focusing on The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's led by Justin Arpanaut, and I'm going to ask him if he wants to say a couple of words about that. He's in there already counting money. So I'll say it. You can talk to one of the board of practitioners today or find out about it on our website, listed in the bulletin. You can also go to the Facebook pages and the Instagram if you're not involved with either one of those. Bev Holland is leading a certificate course called From Whence We Came, which traces the history of New Thought and science of mind from the perspectives of those who shaped our movement. The class is part of the Center for Spiritual Living's core courses. It starts at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, January 30th, and continues for 10 weeks. Ask Bev, who is also counting in the back room, to say a few words, is what it says here. Doug Taylor, CSL practitioner and counselor, will be leading a workshop, Supercharge Your Spiritual Practice, featuring Christian mystical meditation and prayer on Saturday, February 11th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Doug's not here either, so aren't you glad you have me this morning? Yeah. A new foundations class is starting. Would you like to enhance your spiritual connection to a higher power? Are you ready to discover your emerging direction and purpose, or how to make it happen? Join Reverend Karen for 10 weeks in self-discovery and revelation. At least one of us is here, right? One of us is here. Okay. This is a certificate class as part of the formal education curriculum of Centers for Spiritual Living. It's also a foundational class and is required for many volunteer positions and is a prerequisite for other certificate classes. I got these mixed up somehow here. I believe that's it. Anybody else have any announcements? If there's something about birthdays, does anybody have a birthday this week? This week? No? So, pardon? Oh, our annual meeting is on the 29th of this month. So please plan to stay and have a box lunch. We didn't quite have to make it this morning. It was a little bit shorter than I thought. So, but that is it.
So if you'll join hands across the aisle, if you can, we're going to do Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Thank you.